There we go. Okay. Okay, so we'll center. Who to do this? Debbie, I guess. She'll probably be back. If you'd like to use your Bhu Mudra to ground and connect with Earth Mother, I tried something different this morning. I have a little, it's like a large marble, and it has all the continents on it and the islands. So it's about that big around, if you can see that. And so I held it in my hands and just imagined that I was bigger than the earth, and I gave Reiki to the whole earth. And I looked up and I could see my hands above the earth. Does that make sense? So I'm holding it in my hands, visualizing Reiki going to the whole earth, and I look up and I can see my hands like cupped over the earth above me. It was the coolest experience. So you got Reiki this morning in case you didn't feel it. I guess we need it for our technology, right? Anyway, Bhu Mudra for grounding and connecting with Earth Mother, who received her Reiki this morning, as did you. Oh, just continue with your grounding as I let Debbie back in. There she is. All righty. So releasing. We're going to be releasing this morning. We have a new moon on Tuesday the 1st. And it's right next to a Wiccan holiday on the 2nd. So it's a high power time, high energy. And if we release now, we'll be more open to implementing new things, new healthy habits, boundaries, programs, classes, whatever. So we start with releasing here. Become mindful of your breath and how you're breathing, how it feels. If you're holding back, if your rhythm is fast or slow. And then check in with your body. And I'm going to recommend, you can leave your hands in Bhu Mudra if you wish, but I'm going to recommend that you bring your hands palms up on your knees and connect your index finger and thumbs, and then open the rest of your fingers out in Jnana Mudra, which is the third eye, because we're going to be using the third eye. So if you close your eyes, if you haven't already, and imagine being inside your head and looking up into your crown chakra from inside your body. Look up into your crown and then see above you a big, bright, shimmering star shining down on you, shining down into you. This bright white light, bring it down to your heart center, bring it down to your navel area, and send it down into the earth. Now let the star continue to shine into your crown and spread the white light all through your body. Bathe all of your cells. So that includes the skin, muscles, tendons, bones, viscera. Everything gets bathed with this starlight, white light. Feel your body relax a little bit more and fill with this light. Let it cleanse anything that needs cleansing. Sometimes we'll pick up other people's stuff and it'll stick to us. So for those, imagine pink light in front of you and send whatever that is that you're releasing of other people's stuff, send it into this pink light. It can be somebody's emotions, it can be somebody's projection onto you. It can be a projection you place on yourself that limits you. Just send it into this pink light. Let it know that it is loved unconditionally by spirit, but you don't need it. And you're sending it either into the heavens or into white light. And just release it into that pink light and send it on its way. Then come back into your body and notice anything else that needs cleansing. If you have some pain or soreness, stiffness, anything like that in your body, I recommend that you take the heart light from your sternum and send it into whatever area can use some healing meadow green light. This is like liquid light. I've seen the chakra light. It's like liquid and it radiates. So it's like there's white light in everything. It radiates white light. But the green energy is the healing color. Maybe bathe all of your cells in that healing color. Maybe you don't have any stiff areas or tightness or pain or anything like that. So either way, use the green healing light from your heart center and dissolve anything that just doesn't belong there. Neutralize it with the green. And then just bring your palms cupped up towards your chin, and then take your arms out to the side and breathe up as we attune to breath, moving with the breath, breathing out as you lower your hands down, cup your hands, take them out to the side. See that starlight still coming in through your crown? One more round of full deep breathing. And ending with your palms over your heart center. And then breathe your arms up overhead, stretch up, reach one arm up, and then the other. Reach a little further. Seems like we can always go more when we stretch out from our shoulders. And then reach both arms up, fingertips up to the sky. Look up into that starlight, beaming down on you, and then open your arms out and just come forward, down over your legs, stretching in your hips and low back. You can bring your palms in under your face and then stretch your arms forward. Spider walk your hands. And then walk your hands over to the left and come into a side stretch. Reach both hips down on the floor and then come back down facing the leg. Walk your hands over to the other side. Reach up into a side stretch. Stretch through your fingertips to the side. Pull away from your hip. Down over the leg. So we're just going back and forth a couple times. Facing forward and reach. Pull your hip down. Sitting bone on the floor. Reach through your fingertips and face your leg. Pass through center, other side, reach up, long. Good. And then come back to center, lift your body up, hold on to your knees and just reach up into an arching cat. Lift your chest, lift your ribs. Your whole spine is elongated, light shining in between the vertebra, the discs. All right, now switch your feet, bring the other one in front. And palms down, and one reach forward, since we did quite a bit of side to side movement with our legs in one position. And then walk your hands back in. We're going to come up onto our knees. So if you like, you can pull back and press forward onto your knees. Bring your feet out, or in, I should say, and then table pose. Just lengthen out. Take your left leg back, ball of the foot down on the floor, press through your heel. Come up onto the ball and then the toes, press through the heel. Back and forth. Now just keep stretching in the heel. Now just come up and over with your knuckles and press your wrist forward, the opposite of your palm on the floor. And then circle around. Fingers, bring the energy down into your fingers. And then we're just going to pass through plank pose. Bring your left knee in and press the right heel away. Come up onto the ball and then your toes. Give them a good stretch. Back and forth a few times. Breathe. Breathe out as you press the heel away. Breathe as you lift. Press the heel away. And then take your right hand up and over. Press the knuckles down and the wrist forward. Keep your balance like I just didn't. You have to lean a little bit over to your right, to your left. And then circle around a couple times each direction. Bend your fingers, squeeze. All right. And press into plank. Activate your core. Now make sure there's nothing beside you, any accessories or anything. Because we're just going to kick our feet out and in, out, in, back and forth. Scissors. All right, plank. And let your knees down, back into table pose. And stretch your right leg out onto the ball of your foot. The left foot can be top of the foot pressing down into the mat. Press through your right heel and then lift that leg just parallel to the floor. Parallel to the floor. And then take your left leg out, opposite, and reach on the diagonal. Stretch it out on the diagonal. Arm and leg parallel to the floor. So your arm would be up by your ear. Now, this is the stabilizer for the core muscles. Press down on your right palm and reach forward. Lean forward. Fingers on the left hand reaching. And then bring everything down, knee and palm, and let your hips come down onto your heels and relax in child's pose. Arms either direction, just rest for a couple of breaths. Okay, and we'll lift back up into table pose. Take your left leg out. Stretch through the heel for a moment. And then lift your left leg up parallel to the floor. Feel the muscles that are working. Feel your hip muscles here. Notice your low back, your sacrum area. Keep hip bones pointing forward and then slide your right arm out and reach on the diagonal. Pull your toes and fingers apart. Long line. Now make sure the fingers on your left hand are spread out on the mat and then lean forward. You're going to have more flexion in that wrist, but reach, feel your core muscles. And then lower palm, lower knee, bring your hips down. If you need to circle around and loosen up in your wrists, take your time to honor the sensation that your body's calling for. Now just overlap your palms and rest your head on your hands. And breathe 2 deep, relaxing breaths. Release anything that was loosened up. Let it go into that pink light. Still waiting there to receive. Okay. And lift your head, reach your arms forward and come up onto hands and knees. Bring your right leg forward into sun pose. Turn the toes under on the back leg. Stretch the heel out. Step the back foot in. Lift, arms out to the side. Breathe and reach up into a deep back bend, standing back bend. So reach up, create the space. You want to contract in your hips to protect your low back, but open the chest, the abdomen, stretching out the work you just did for your core. And come back for a swan dive and down. This time, take the left leg back into sun pose. Lift up into your twist. Relax your hips down as you twist. The tendency is to lift them up, but let them relax. Bring your hand down. Sun pose. Stretch a little more in that groin. And let the back knee down. Switch legs. Come into sun pose. Left leg, or yes, left leg forward. Lift your chin, honoring the sun's light. Step the back foot in, lift, reaching up for another standing back bend, but be sure to reach tall. Lift your ribs up out of your hips. Lift up out of your ankles and go back. Stretch it all out. Be sure to contract in your hip muscles, your glutes, your legs, your thighs. Breathe. And open your arms out, coming down for a swan dive. Take the right leg back into your sun pose and lift up into your twist. Remember to relax your hips here. And bring it back down. Relax your hips a little more. And then step the back foot in. Come up, reverse swan, bring arms up overhead. Bring palms down over your chest. Taking a breath. And soften your knees, step back with the right leg into warrior one pose. Breathe, arms overhead. Bring hands into Kali Mudra. So you interlace all your fingers except for the index fingers. Thumbs are side by side. Reach the fingers up. Release through Kali Mudra. Reach up in your heart and go back. And then to center, reach up, separate your hands, pivot into warrior two. And you can adjust your feet. You can separate them out more if you want, but breathe it in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Draw the knee in, straight knee, and just give a wiggle to your hips. Now bring them level. You want them both pointing forward and level side to side as well. Arms out to the side. Taking a breath. Actually, bring your left hand or the front hand right at the bend in your hip. Press down there and press out through your outer hip. Press down with your hand. We're preparing for triangle. Keep the front knee straight, but press down here and keep your torso long. So the stretch is happening in the hips and legs. Reaching out, and then switch your hands. Look up. And breathe, coming up and out. Out into warrior two. Feel how different it is after your Trikonasana triangle. Bring the knee in again. Press down in that front hip and reach out, straight spine. And switch, arms perpendicular to the floor. And reach up into warrior two. Bring the back foot in a little bit, turn palms up, pivot to warrior one. And reach down to the floor. Step it in. Arms up overhead. Breathe. Soften your knees. Reach back with your left leg into warrior one pose. Kali Mudra with your palms, your hands, interlacing fingers. Index fingers touch, thumbs side by side. Reach up in your ribs, up out of your waist. Keep the hip bones forward and lean back. And then bring palms over your heart. Breathe arms up and over into warrior two. Here, I'll switch directions here. Breathe it in. Breathe out. Open the knee. Breathe it in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And draw the knee in. Press down with your hand right in the hinge of your hip. And the hips tilt, but they still face forward. Take the stretch in the front leg. A straight spine. Straight. Instead of bending, a lot of people try to reach down for the floor. That can jeopardize the health of your sacroiliac joint. So stay straight. Arms out, shoulders forward. And switch arms perpendicular to the floor, look up. Reach up, breathe. Good. Again, place your hand on that hip, the front hip. Press down, press it in. It's going to cause you to tilt your hips and reach back with the back hip, like somebody's pulling a string attached to it. Reach, knee is straight. Reach out. And switch arms, look up. And breathe, lift up. Breathe out into warrior two. Feel the difference now with your warrior two, how open maybe. Do you feel more open in your hips? The stretch. Bring the back foot in a little bit, turn palms up and switch to warrior one. And reach for the floor. Step back into your plank and up into down dog. Just like we tilted our hips to the side in Trikonasana, now we're tilting the hips up in down dog. As you press down in your heels. Now, pigeon, we'll ease into it. Just bring your right knee forward, sit on the right heel, reach back with the left leg, fingertips on the mat. Back knee faces the floor. Lift up and back in your spine. Now bring your palms down onto the floor. Bring your foot out, bring it forward, and let your hip come down onto the mat. You want your hip bones pointing forward once again. Aligned. Now, if this is your pigeon, that's fine. If your pigeon will allow the foot to come forward a little more, then bring it out. But realign your hips forward. Check out the hip on the floor. Reach up. Lift your heart center to the sky. Send some green, loving energy out into the world from here. And then release it. Walk your hands forward. Come down onto your elbows or further, whatever your body will allow. Thought I had a Kleenex here. Relax in your forward hip. If there's a little tightness and a little pain there, just direct your prana from your breath into the area where you feel the sensation. And intend for it to relax. All right, now lift up onto your hands. Come over, sitting on that forward hip. Bring the back leg around all the way for your twist, a seated twist. Let your hip bone come down onto the mat. Reach the knee in towards the opposite shoulder. And then take the free arm and reach out and up. Breathe. And pull around into your twist, bringing your palm close to your hip so that you can use that as a backrest and relax your back, your ribs. Look over your shoulder. Breathe nice deep breaths and allow the ribs to expand as you inhale. Now press down in the sitting bones. Breathe as you lift your arm back up next to your ear and unwind. Now that front leg, just let it come out and take your other leg around to the back. Come up sitting on that heel of the forward leg. Reach back through the back foot, the toes. Lift in your heart center. Use your fingertips to lift. Reach it up. Sending that loving green energy out into the world, out around your body, in and out. And then walk your hands forward. Bring that front foot out. And then sitting on that hip, lift. If your leg will come further forward, just bring your foot out. Realign your hips pointing forward. Reach it up. Lift up and back, wherever your body will go. And release. Walk your hands forward. Come down to a place where you can relax. You can come down onto your arms or just hang out above your arms. But relax in the hip. Use the prana that flows on your breath. Send it into the area where you feel the sensation the most and let it permeate from there. Now press down on your arms and hands and lift your torso. Come over onto that front hip and bring the back leg around for your twist. Wherever you place your foot, in front of the shin, in front of the knee, in front of the thigh, but bring both sitting bones down onto the mat. And give a little stretch to your knee coming in towards the opposite shoulder. And then holding onto your leg with the free arm, breathe and reach it up and around. Down close to the hip. Look over your shoulder. Check your alignment. Are your shoulders hunched up? Is your back erect? Now press down in your sitting bones and breathe your back arm up to your ear and unwind. Unfold the legs. If you need your socks or a blanket or anything, prepare for Shavasana. While you're preparing, just notice how your body feels. For many of us, it's winter, and sometimes our muscles get a little tight in the cold. Not everybody, but some of us. So with the new moon coming on Tuesday, a time to start new things, to implement, reevaluate, and start again at a new level, whatever you're working on. And Edward said, his last name is Said. So Edward said, his quotation is, beginning is not only a kind of action, it is also a frame of mind, a kind of work, an attitude, a consciousness. So that's perfect for beginning at the new moon on Tuesday. And we can prepare ourselves for that new beginning. Planning, arranging, taking action. So for now, just relax and allow inspiration to come in. Allow the light to continue beaming into you. Connect now with your higher self. Feel the presence of that unconditional acceptance of you. By you. Now, without disturbing yourself too much, just slide your feet together and bring your knees up to your chest. Come over to one side and come up into sitting. We'll use Brahma Mudra today. So once you're up, just bring your palms out in front of you. Bring your thumbs in and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. Take your elbows out to the side and bring your knuckles together like you're giving yourself a fist bump. And then bring the heel of your hands to your navel area. And that is Brahma Mudra, representing the highest consciousness, Brahman. Just sit for a moment and allow the mudra to work its magic. And now just bring palms into Anjali Mudra, prayer hands. Just take your head side to side, a little movement. Circle your shoulders around a little bit, both directions. And then breathe your arms up in gratitude for spirit and all the answers and abundance that we receive, and let it shower down on you as you open your arms and come back to prayer hands. And may you feel spirit moving through you all day long, keeping you warm in the snow. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes.
You're
That was
welcome.
just perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
Well, Jeannie, enjoy your day. It sounds wonderful. I love those art festivals.
Yes, I have a pottery mirror that for some reason a month ago just fell off the wall.